So good morning students. Now we discuss about the exercise 9.4. So this is a Bernoulli's formula. The Bernoulli formula is integral u v dx equal to u v1 minus u dash v2 plus u double dash. This is a here u double dash v3 minus u triple dash v4 plus etc. Here v1 v2 v3 represent the successive integrations. U dash u double dash represent the u dash u2 u3 represent the successive differentiation. So Bernoulli formula means its one condition is you take the only x terms. Which term it successive differentiation comes to 0, that function we take the u. Okay, so only x terms, we choose the u by x terms only. So this is a Bernoulli formula. That means the Bernoulli formula is integral uv dx equal to u v1 minus u1 v2 plus u2 v3 minus u3 v4 plus etc. Here v1 v2 v3 are integrations, successive integrations. We get the integrations, we find from this we find out the answer. u1 u2 u3 means successive differentiation. So now we discuss about the example 9.31. Evaluate integral 0 to pi. Pi will come here. Upper limit is pi. So integral 0 to pi x square cos nx dx, where n is a positive integer. So you see this here now I apply the, here you see there is a two functions, one is x square, another one is cos nx. So now I apply the Bernoulli formula. So you take, whenever you take you apply the Bernoulli formula means you take the x terms, you consider the u. So this x square I take the u equal to x square and v equal to cos nx. Why I take the x square equal to u means the x square only, it give the successive differentiation, it give the 0. So you will apply the Bernoulli formula, you take the x terms you write it you take the u. So here in this problem I write u equal to x square cos v equal to cos nx. Now I write the given integral, that means 0 to pi x square cos nx dx equal to, the Bernoulli formula is u v1. So u means this is a given functions I write. v1 means I take the integration of the cos nx. Integration of the cos nx is sin nx by n minus next to u1 means you take the differentiation. So that means the first derivative of the u. So u1 equal to differentiation of the x square is 2x next this is x terms, you differentiate, trigonometry integrate. So next you integrate the sin nx by n. Integration of sin nx is minus cos nx by this n I write in the denominator by n. So the next step again I differentiate the 2x. So 2 into differentiation of x is 1. So into 2, next differentiation of cos nx is sin nx by n into n. So I apply the limit 0 to pi. So the next step I apply the upper limit pi square, upper limit x equal to pi. So pi square sin n pi by n minus 2 pi minus cos n pi by n square plus 2 into sin n pi by n cube. So upper limit I applied. Next minus I apply the lower limit 0 sin 0 is 0. So 3 terms are 0. So I write it minus 0. So in the next step I write it here sin n pi is 0. So 0, next cos n pi is minus 1 whole power n. So I write it minus into minus plus 2 pi cos n pi by n square. Next sin n pi is 0. So 2 into 0 by n cube. The next step I write it every term, the first and the last terms are 0. So I write it 2 pi into cos n pi value is minus 1 whole power n by n square. So this is the integral 0 to pi x square cos nx dx equal to 2 pi minus 1 whole power n by n square. We use the formula sin n pi equal to 0, cos n pi equal to minus 1 whole power n. So we find out the answer for the given integral. That means integral 0 to pi x square cos nx dx equal to 2 pi into minus 1 whole power n by n square. This is the answer for the given integral. So you see the second problem, that means evaluate. Second problem is example 9.32. Evaluate integral 0 to 1 e power minus 2x into 1 plus here 1 plus x minus 2x cube into dx. This is now we will evaluate this. So I write the given this. Now I apply the Bernoulli, because here two functions, one is 1 plus x minus 2x cube, another one is e power minus 2x. So I write it u equal to 1 plus x minus 2x cube, v equal to e power minus 2x. That means we write the given function in the x terms you consider u, the trigonometric exponential write it the v. So now you take that. So you write that. So the integral 0 to 1 e power minus 2x 1 plus x minus 2x cube dx equal to, now the formula is u b1. So u means you write the given function 1 plus x minus 2x cube. b1 means you integrate the b. So b1 equal to e power integration of e power minus 2x is e power minus 2x by minus 2 minus next u dash u1 means you differentiate this. So differentiation of 1 is 0, differentiation of x is 1, minus 2 into differentiation of x cube is 3x square. So minus 6x square, 1 minus 6x square into, again you integrate this, e power minus 2x, integration of e power minus 2x by minus 2 is e power again you write the same, e power minus 2x by, again you multiply the minus 2, there is a minus 2, minus 2 into minus 2 plus 4. So plus next so sign alternate, plus next again you differentiate this, u2 plus u2 b u1, that's the formula is u b1 minus u1 b2 plus u2 b3. So u2 means you differentiate this, differentiation of 1 is 0, minus 6 into differentiation of x square is 2x, so minus 6 into 2x minus 12x. Next differentiation of integration of this one, so you integrate this, integration of e power minus 2x is, that means e power minus 2x by, again you write the denominator minus 2, so 4 into minus 2 minus 8, again minus the next step, differentiation of the minus 12x, differentiation of the minus 12x is minus 12 into e power minus 2x by minus 8 into minus 2, so 16. So the limit is 0 to 1. So in the next step you write it, e power minus 2x minus of e power minus 2x by 2, you write the remaining terms 1 plus x minus 2x cube, next 1 minus 6x square by 2, next minus 12x into e power, that means minus e power minus 2x by 2 only you take outside, so remaining factor is minus 12x into 1 by 4. So next here e power minus 2x by 2, that means minus e power minus 2x by 2 you take outside, so the remaining factor is minus into minus plus, so you take the 1 minus in the outside, so remaining is minus 3 by 2. So now you apply the e power minus 2x by 2, next you just add the constant, that means you write it x minus 3x, you add this x minus 3x is, that means you just cross multiply this, so cross multiply means 2 into 1 2 plus 2 into x 2x minus 2 into minus 2 minus 4x cube plus 1 minus 6x square, again you cross multiply here, minus 2 into 3x 6x minus 3 by 8 into 2 cancelled, minus 3 by 2. So the next step this is the next step, that means minus e power minus 2x by 2 minus 4x cube minus 6x square minus 4x by 2 into 0 to 1 equal to, you see that means minus, you see all the terms are minus, so one minus sign take outside, so minus into minus plus e power minus 2x by 4x cube plus 6x square plus 4x, the limit is 0 to 1. First I substitute the upper limit, so x equal to 1, I substitute e power minus 2 by 4 plus 6 plus 4 minus, I substitute the lower limit, so the lower limit is 0 0 0, so therefore 0 into anything 0, therefore the lower limit is 0, the lower limit answer is 0, so therefore you write it, the 4 and 14 cancelled, so that means divided by 2, so here 7 by 2, so 7 by 2 into e power minus 2, this is your answer, because the lower limit answer is 1 by 4 into 0 is 0, therefore 7 into e power minus 2 by 2, this is your answer for your given integral. So this is 7 e power minus 2 I write in the denominator, so 7 by 2 into e square. Next 9 example, now we discuss about the example 9.33. you see example 9.33, evaluate integral 0 to 2 pi, the function is integral 0 to 2 pi x square sine nx dx, where n is a positive integer. So here you see this is the question, integral 0 to 2 pi x square sine nx dx, where n is a positive integer. So you see taking now I take here that is a two function, one is x square, another function is sin nx. So here I will apply the Bernoulli formula. Bernoulli formula means we know that the Bernoulli formula. So whenever you choose the u equal to x terms, so u equal to x square, b equal to sin nx. Now applying Bernoulli formula. So the Bernoulli formula is integral, we know that integral of 0 to 2 pi into, that means uv dx, integral uv dv equal to, the formula is uv minus u dash b1 plus u double dash b2 plus minus u triple dash b3, it goes on. So now I apply the Bernoulli formula. I equal to integral 0 to 2 pi x square sin nx dx equal to, here u means x square, so x square, and b means here b means this is a integration of the sign. Integration of the sign means here cos, so cos minus cos nx by n. So next minus u dash means you just differentiate this. Differentiation of x square is 2x, and b1 means you integrate this, minus of integration of the minus cos nx by n means minus integration of cos nx is sin nx by n square. Next plus u double dash, again you differentiate this. Differentiation of 2x is 2 into integration of this sin, so minus integration of sin nx is minus cos nx, so minus of minus cos nx by n cube. So there is a 2 minus, so plus, it comes to plus, so cos nx by n cube. Next minus integration, differentiation of the 2 is 0, so we stop up to this. When the x comes to 0, that time we stop. So the next step, here I apply the limit is 0 to 2 pi, so I apply the upper limit x equal to 2 pi, so I write it, that means 2 pi whole square means 4 pi square minus cos 2n pi means x, I substitute x equal to 2 pi, so cos 2n pi 1, so minus 1 by n, minus again I substitute here sin 2n pi is 0, so I represented by 0 plus 2 into cos 2n pi 1, so 1 by n cube, the upper limit value this one, minus next I apply the lower limit x equal to 0, so 0 into anything 0 first value, second value 0 into I substitute x equal to 0 into anything 0, next cos 0 is 1, so 2 by n cube. So in the next step I write it, that means 4 pi square into minus 1 means minus 4 pi square by n, next 2 plus 2 by n cube, next I multiply the minus sign in the last term, so minus 2 by n cube, so which implies plus 2 by n cube minus 2 by n cube cancelled, so minus, that means minus 4 pi square by n, so here minus sign will come, minus 4 pi square by n will come here. This is the answer for the given integral, that means the minus 4 pi square by n. So now discuss about the example with 9.34. Evaluate integral minus 1 to plus 1 e power minus lambda x into 1 minus x square dx. You see this now here there is a two functions, one is e power minus lambda x, another one is 1 minus x square dx. So there is a two function, one is e power minus lambda x, another one 1 minus x square. So the x functions I take the u equal to 1 minus x square, b equal to e power minus lambda x. So applying Bernoulli formula, so we know that the Bernoulli formula, that means integral uv dv equal to uv minus u dash b1 plus u double dash b2 minus u triple dash b3 plus u double fourth dash b4, it goes on. So now I equal to integral, that means now here you see that I write the given integral minus 1 to plus 1 e power minus lambda x into 1 minus x square dx equal to, here u means 1 minus x square, b means you integrate the e power minus lambda x, integration of the e power minus lambda x, e power minus lambda x by minus lambda, next minus, again I differentiate this, differentiation of the x terms, so differentiation of 1 minus x square is minus 2x, I write it. Next I integrate this, integrate the exponential, integration of the exponential is e power minus lambda x by minus lambda into minus lambda, so next plus, next I differentiate this, I differentiate the minus 2x, minus 2 into differentiation of x is 1, so minus 2, I integrate this e power minus lambda x by lambda square into minus lambda cube, again next minus, I differentiate this, differentiation of minus 2 is 0, so I stop up to this, So when the differentiation comes to 0, we stop that term. So therefore here you see e power minus, that means e power minus lambda 1 minus x square e power minus lambda x by minus lambda, minus into minus plus 2x into e power minus lambda x by lambda square, plus into minus e power minus lambda x by, that means there is a minus into minus plus e power 2 into e power minus lambda x by lambda cube. Now you substitute the limit -1 to +1. So first I substitute the upper limit. Upper limit means here x equal to 1. So I substitute here x equal to 1 means the first terms are 0. So it comes to 0. Second term x equal to 1 means minus into minus plus 2 into e power minus lambda by lambda square minus 2 into e power minus lambda by lambda, that means minus into minus plus, so 2 into e power minus lambda by lambda power 3. Next I substitute the lower limit, minus of again minus 1 whole square, so 1 minus 1 0. Next here minus into minus again 2 minus 1 means, so there is a 3 minus, so I write it is a minus, so minus of minus 2 into e power plus lambda by lambda square. Next minus 2 into e power plus lambda by lambda cube. So I multiply the minus in the all the terms. So the middle is the before we are the lower limit minus of lower limit, so plus 2 into e power lambda by lambda square plus 2 into e power lambda by lambda cube. So in the next step you see here the denominator, so 2 times of e power minus lambda, I take the common factor 2 by lambda square from the first and third term. So I write it 2 by lambda square into e power lambda plus e power minus lambda, and I take the, here one minus sign will come, so I write it, both the sign are minus, so I write it minus 2 by lambda cube into e power lambda plus e power minus lambda. That means the first term 2 e power minus lambda by lambda square plus 2 times of e power minus lambda by lambda cube plus 2 into e power lambda by lambda square, here minus will come, minus 2 into e power lambda by lambda cube. So in the next I take the factor, that means the first and I club the first and third, so I take the common factor 2 by lambda square, so e power lambda plus e power minus lambda. Next I take the second and fourth last term, so I take from the common factor minus 2 by lambda cube. So minus 2 by lambda cube means already there is a minus, so e power lambda, here there is no minus, so I write it the minus e power lambda, here minus will come, e power lambda minus e power minus lambda come, so 2 by lambda square into e power lambda plus e power minus lambda minus 2 by lambda cube into e power lambda minus e power minus lambda. This is the answer for our given integral. So you see now we discuss about the exercise 9.4. first problem, integral 0 to 1 x cube e power minus 2x dx. Here you see the two functions, one is x cube, another one is e power minus 2x. So x cube term you take the u equal to x cube, b equal to e power minus 2x. Now I apply the Bernoulli. So the Bernoulli formula is, so integral 0 to 1, that means x cube e power minus 2x dx equal to, formula is ub minus u dash v1 plus u double dash v2 minus u triple dash v3 minus etc. So now u means x cube into b means e power. Now we integrate this, so here we integrate the e power minus 2x. Integration of e power minus 2x is e power minus 2x by minus 2 minus u dash means differentiation of the x cube is 3x square into, next we integrate the e power minus 2x by minus 2, we integrate the exponential, so again e power minus 2x by minus 2 into, again write the coefficient of the x, that means coefficient of the x is minus 2, it divide, so minus 2 plus, next plus u dash v1 plus u double dash means that means 3 into differentiation of x square is 2x, 6x into, again I integrate this e power minus 2x by minus into minus 4 into minus 2. Next again minus 6 into, that means again I differentiate that 6 into differentiation of x is 1, so 6 into, and next I integrate this e power minus 2x. I integrate integration of the e power minus 2x is e power minus 2x into that minus to divide, so minus 8 into minus 2, therefore 0 to 1. So the next step you write 1 cube e power minus 2 into 1 by minus 2 minus x, I substitute throughout the x equal to 1, so 1 cube e power minus 2 into 1 by minus 2 minus 3 into 1 square e power minus 2 by minus 2 into minus 2 4 plus 6 into 1 e power minus 2 by minus 8 minus 6 into e power minus 2 by minus 8 into minus 2 16, therefore minus, now I apply the lower limit, so 0 0 0, so the 0 minus the lower limit is 6 into e power minus 2x by 16, so this is x equal to 0, I substitute, therefore minus e power minus 2 by 2 minus 3 into e power minus 2 by 4 plus 6 into e power, here we cancel this, 6 and 8 we cancelled by 2, so 3 by 4 minus 3 by 4 e power minus 2, again we cancelled by 2, so minus 3 by 8 e power minus 2 minus into minus plus 6 by 16. So the next step you see the here e power minus 2 is common, so I take outside minus e power minus 2 by 2, I take outside, therefore 1, here e power minus, that means minus e power minus 2 by 2 I take outside, so the remaining terms are 1 plus 3 by 2 plus 3 by 2 plus 3 by 4. Next I write it the 6 by 16. So the next step, minus of e power minus 2 by 2 equal to the just here the LCM is 4, so by 4 into, you see I just cross multiply, so 4 plus, you see the second term is denominator is 2, so you convert it into 2, so 2 by 2 means 3 by 2 into 2 by 2, so 6 by 4, so you add the numerator 6, again it converted into, that means 3 by 4, so 6 by 4 you write the numerator, and you see the denominator 4, so you just take the numerator as it is, so plus 3, so therefore you write it plus 6 by 16. In the next step, minus e power minus 2 by 2, you add it 10 19 by 4 plus 3 by 8 equal to, just you write it, that means 3 by 8 minus 19 by 4 e power minus 2. This is your answer for the first problem. Next second problem, integral 0 to 1 sine of 3 tan inverse x into tan inverse x by 1 plus x square dx. This is our given integral. So here you see the two functions, one is 1 by, that means here there is you take the substitution u equal to tan inverse x, you give the substitution u equal to tan inverse x, so you differentiate with respect to x, so you write it du by dx equal to differentiation of tan inverse x is 1 by 1 plus x square, so you just doing that du equal to, you cross multiply 1 by x square into dx by 1 plus x square. So in the next step, now u equal to tan inverse x means the limit is 0 to 1, I substitute. Next to u equal to, you substitute x equal to 0, tan inverse 0 means 0. Next to tan, you substitute x equal to 1, tan inverse 1 means tan inverse of tan pi by 4, so tan inverse tan 1, so pi by 4, therefore u equal to 0 to pi by 4. So next you substitute here, so integral 0 to pi by 4 sine of 3 into tan inverse x is u, 3u into, next tan inverse x is u into, next this is a du equal to dx by 1 plus x square, so du, therefore integral 0 to pi by 4 u into sine 3u du. So in the next step, u into, here this is a Bernoulli formula, so you apply the Bernoulli means ub minus u dash b1, u into b means you integrate the sign, integration of the sign means minus cos 3u by 3. So next minus, you differentiate the u, differentiation of u is 1, and integration of the cos is that means minus of integration of cos is sine 3u by 3 into 3. So next again differentiate the 1, differentiation of 1 is 0, so we stop up to this. Therefore minus u into cos 3u by 3 minus into minus plus sin 3u by 9, 0 to pi by 4. So the next step you write it. Now you write it here, you apply the upper limit, that means u equal to pi by 4. So minus pi by 4 cos 3 pi by 4 by 3 plus sin 3 into pi by 4 by 9. So minus lower limit, this is a 0, cos 0, u 0 into anything 0, sin 0 0, so the lower limit is 0. So next minus pi by 4 cos 3 pi by 4, that means we write it 1 by 3 into cos 3 by 4 plus 1 by 9 into sin 3 pi by 4. So here you write it, that means minus pi by 12 into cos of 3 pi by 4, I write it by cos of pi minus pi by 4 plus 1 by 9 into sin of pi minus pi by 4. The next step minus pi by 12 into cos of pi minus theta, cos of pi minus theta is minus, that means minus cos theta, so minus cos pi by 4 plus 1 by 9 into sin of pi minus pi by 4 is sin pi by 4. So in the next step cos of pi by 4 is cos 45 degree 1 by root 2, so minus 1 by root 2 plus 1 by 9 into sin 45 degree 1 by root 2. Therefore minus into minus plus pi by 12 into root 2 plus 1 by 9 root 2. This is the answer for the given integral. So third problem, integral 0 to 1 by root 2 e power sin inverse x into sin inverse x by 1 minus x square dx. So next let u equal to sin inverse x, I take u equal to sin inverse x, differentiate with respect to x, du by dx equal to differentiation of the sin inverse x is 1 by square root of 1 minus x square, so du equal to dx by square root of 1 minus x square. So in the next step you write u equal to sin inverse x means x equal to 0 to 1 by root 2. So x equal to 0 means u equal to, substitute sin inverse 0 is 0. Next to u x equal to 1 by root 2, x equal to 1 by root 2 means it is a sin 45 degree 1 by root 2. So instead of 1 by root 2 I substitute sin 45 degree, so sin inverse sin multiplies, so 45 degree, u equal to pi by 4. So u equal to 0, u equal to pi by 4. So in the next step you write it, that means you write it 0 to pi by 4 into, you substitute the limit e power a into sin inverse means u, so e power a u into sin inverse x means u into dx by square root of 1 minus x square du into du equal to 0 to pi by 4. Next to u into e power a u into du, so therefore uv, so u is the, this is a u and a b, so uv minus u dash v1, u into b means e power a u by a minus u dash means 1 into e power, here you write integrate this, e power a u by a into a 0 to pi by 4. In the next step you write it the pi by 4, so pi by 4 into e power a pi by 4 by a minus, next you substitute e power a pi by 4 by a square, so minus, next you substitute 0, so you substitute here u equal to 0, 0 into anything 0 minus e power 0 by a square. So the next step you write, so therefore pi by 4 into e power a pi by 4 by a minus e power a pi by 4 by a square minus of minus 1 by a square, so e power a pi by 4 by a, so here you take the common factor e power a pi by 4 by a, pi by 4 minus 1 by a plus 1 by a square, minus into minus plus 1 by a square. So this is the answer for the third problem. So you write it a fourth problem, that means integral 0 to pi by 2 x square cos 2x dx. So u equal to x square, v equal to cos 2x. Now I apply the Bernoulli formula u b. So u means x square, v means differentiation of cos is sin 2x by 2 minus u dash means differentiation of x square is 2x into integration of sin 2x is minus cos 2x by 2. So next plus, next integration of the differentiation of the 2x plus 2 into, again you integrate this, minus of integration of the cos means minus sin 2x by 2 into 2. Next you differentiate the 2, differentiation of 2 is 0. So the next step x square sin 2x by 2 minus into minus plus 2 cancelled plus x cos 2x by 2 minus 2 minus 2 cancelled, minus sine 2x by 4, 0 to pi by 2. Therefore you substitute the upper limit, pi by 2 whole square sine 2 into pi by 2 by 2 plus pi by 2 cos 2 pi by 2 by 2 minus sine 2 into pi by 2 by 4. So minus 0 equal to pi by 2 whole square, 2 cancelled, so sine pi plus pi by 2 by 2 into pi by 2, 2 cancelled, cos pi by 2 minus sine pi by 4. So the next step, pi by 2 whole square into 0, pi by 2 cos pi is minus 1 by 2. So here cos pi value is minus 1. So this is sine pi is 0. So I write it pi by 2 whole square 0 plus pi by 2 into minus 1 by 2. So the answer is, and next I substitute the lower limit, means it comes to 0. Every lower limit is 0. So here 0 0 and sine 0 is 0. So the lower limit comes to 0. So here we write it. That means we write it pi by 2 whole square into 0 0. This is a minus pi by 4. So our answer is minus pi by 4. Our answer. We complete our class.